You can read the relationship books. You can learn better communication skills. You can even promise to stay calm next time. And you can still feel completely alone in your relationship. It's confusing, especially when you genuinely love each other. So if you've ever thought, why do we keep having the same fight? Why does it escalate so fast? Why does it feel like we're on opposite teams? You might be trying to fix the wrong problem, because most couples focus on the fight when really what's happening is attachment protection. And today, I'm going to show you why. If we haven't met, my name is Kyle Benson. I'm a certified emotionally focused couples therapist, an ASEX certified sex therapist, and I even did research in a love lab, watching couples interact and even coding their conversations. I see this pattern every single week with the couples I see. They come in fighting about money, sex, parenting, chores, tone of voice, who used the toothpaste last. But underneath every single conflict is a really deep question. A deep question we don't get to unless we really slow down. And that question is, do I matter to you? That is an attachment question. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 3 things. Why most couples focus on the wrong problem, what attachment theory can explain about your reactions, and how you can move from protection to connection. This is the foundational video to my new series, Why You Do What You Do in Relationships. Let's dive in. There's a quote from Dan Wilde that I love. A couple's problem is really 2 problems. The problem itself, money, sex, kids, etc., and how partners talk or don't talk about the problem. How partners talk or don't talk about the problem is often the major problem. And here's what most couples miss. It's not just what you say. It's what your nervous system has learned in close relationships. For example, research from Dr. John Gottman shows that 69% of couple conflict is perpetual, which means you're not supposed to solve most of your differences. You're supposed to navigate them with tenderness together. So when couples come in and say, we just need better communication, sometimes what they actually need is a felt sense of safety, because the ability to communicate kindly sits on top of the body's felt sense of safety. This is why attachment theory is so important. Attachment isn't some personality quiz on Instagram. It's a biological survival system, and there's a ton of research about it. Just like hunger, when you feel discomfort physically due to hunger, you seek out food. When you feel discomfort relationally, you seek out connection. And if you learn that connection wasn't consistently safe, you protect yourself in the best way you know how. The attachment system is a biological system that activates when we feel fear, uncertainty, threat, and disconnection. Its whole goal is to create a felt sense of security. For example, my 3-year-old hears a loud noise. Her body tenses. She drops whatever toy she's playing with and starts crying, "Daddy!" When I comfort her, her breathing slows and she has this big exhale, which is super cute, and tells me she's settled, and she resumes playing again. When we feel secure from the comfort of another, something powerful happens. We can explore, we can learn, we can play, we can connect. In healthy parent-child dynamic, the parent meets the child's attachment needs, but the child does not worry about the parent's attachment needs. That same attachment system that functioned for safety for us as a kid also applies to us as adults. In adult romantic relationships, meeting attachment needs is mutual between 2 adults who both need and give care. According to attachment theory, in adult relationships, there are 3 systems that are interacting: attachment, caregiving, and sexual. When the attachment system feels safe, we have access to our caregiving system, which is our natural desire to offer care to a person who we love, who might also be hurting. So for example, if our partner says they are lonely and we don't see it as an attack, we are more likely to come close, validate emotionally, and soothe their distress, because our attachment system is offline and our caregiving system is online. When attachment doesn't feel safe, it impacts everything. If we view our partner's loneliness as a failure on our part, our attachment system activates and influences us to defend ourselves or has us shut down and withdraw, which then leaves our partner uncared for and us in distress. This also impacts our sexual system. When we feel secure as adults, we have access to our sexual system to explore erotically. That's because security frees up energy. This is why you can't fix sexual intimacy without attachment safety. Let me show an example. For example, partner B has been working late several nights in a row. So that's the surface problem. That activates partner A. That partner A sends a clear message about their distress. Hey, I've been feeling anxious and lonely when we don't connect in the evenings. It's not about your work. I just miss you, and I need some reassurance that we're okay. Partner B responds from their caregiving system with care and support. Thank you for telling me. I care about you, and you matter to me. I'm sorry you've been feeling alone. Can we plan on a check-in call on the late nights and protect some time together? Partner A receives care, and their distress reduces. That helps a lot. Hearing that you care and that we're making a plan helps me feel calmer and more connected. I feel less alone now. In secure moments, distress isn't dangerous. One partner signals a need, the other responds with care, and the closeness increases. Let's look at this from an insecure attachment lens. Same example. Partner B has been working several late nights in a row. This activates partner A. But partner A sends a protective message about their distress. You're never around anymore. It feels like your job is more important in this relationship. Underneath that, partner A's attachment need is reassurance and closeness, but it is expressed as criticism. As a result, partner B becomes activated and responds with their own protection, not care. Wow, I'm doing this for us. Nothing I do is ever good enough for you. Partner B's attachment need is appreciation and not feeling like a failure, but it is expressed as defensiveness. As a result, partner A does not receive care and actually escalates their protection. See, you don't even care how lonely I am. You always shut me out when I need you. Their protest increases and their fear of abandonment intensifies. As a result, partner B also does not receive care and they escalate their own protection. I can't talk with you when you're like this. I'm done with this conversation. Their protection of withdrawing increases, their fear of being attacked and failing intensifies, and they shut down. As a result, both attachment systems are activated. Both partners are protecting instead of connecting, and neither partner receives care. As a result, the bond feels more unsafe, even though both are longing for closeness. And now you're in a negative cycle. That's what attachment theory tells us. The conflict is not actually about work. Both partners' attachment systems got activated and both started protecting themselves. And as a result, neither partner got the care they needed, which again, they have communication tools, but their nervous systems and attachment systems reacting to each other and how they react when things signal danger or distress in the relationship determines how the conflict will go. Here's another way to describe what's happening. There's the surface problem. We talked about work, could be dishes. It could be a numerous amount of things. And what happens is then we become activated. This comes from unmet attachment needs. These could be from our childhood, past relationships, and maybe even be present in the relationship now where we're not feeling like that's getting connection, we're getting the security we need. Then how we cope with that unmet need is our protective strategies. And these lead to strategies that make it a little hard for your partner to respond to, such as criticism, attacking their character, or defensiveness, defending yourself. And it makes it hard for your partner to really see those unmet attachment needs, which then lead them act in ways that protect themselves, which then causes a negative cycle between partners. And so really the fight about the dishes might be actually about, do I matter to you? Can I count on you? Am I too much? Or am I not enough? And these deeper things don't actually get talked about when we're caught in this negative cycle, which is something I do a lot in emotionally focused couples therapy, and it comes a lot from attachment theory, but specifically some of the stuff that Dr. Sue Johnson taught and talks about in her book, Hold Me Tight. The reason this is so important is that Bowlby, one of the founders of attachment theory, said, one tends to assimilate to any new person with whom he may form a bond, such as a spouse, to an existing model either of one or the other parent, and often continues to do so despite repeated evidence that the model is inappropriate. This is what I see with my couples, is one partner's acting in ways that they adapted earlier on in life, and it's still showing up in their current relationship because they're stuck in that model of how to show up in their relationship. And the problem is it doesn't lead to the connection they want. And that's what I really help couples do in my couples therapy, is change those models so they can feel more secure. Because every interaction in a romantic relationship either reinforces that attachment internal working model or it changes it. And so I like to see kind of our internal working model as our relationship GPS. That's a very friendly way to look at it. Like a GPS in your car, your attachment system decides the best routes to take based on the data. And that data is your past relationship experiences. What this means is the software of your attachment system holds expectations about yourself, such as what you deserve, closeness, getting your needs met or not, expectations about others, and how they will or will not show up for you, your emotional rules and ability to regulate your own emotions in yourself and co-regulate the emotions in others, as well as your relationship templates. For example, if your early experiences taught you I have to fight to be heard, then you're going to fight to be heard. If you were taught needing people leads to rejection, you're going to minimize your needs. Not because you're flawed, but because your attachment system adapted to an insecure environment. These adaptive protections became your normal way of being in close relationships. Here's the key shift I want you to understand. When we feel unsafe, we don't stop needing connection. We just switch strategies. There's connection moves, which you might see from more secure partners, which is sharing feelings, asking for comfort, reaching, or setting clear boundaries. For insecure partners, you see more protection moves, criticism, defensiveness, shutting down, appeasing. Both types of moves are attempts to feel safe in our relationships, but only one creates closeness. So let's break down the different insecure strategies that interfere with closeness. There's anxious, which is more of a hyperactivation. Deeper down, there's this core fear of abandonment. And so we have these strategies to kind of close the distance, right? We might poke at a partner and say, you're pulling away. We might push them. Why don't you care? We might protest. You never want to talk. We might cling to our partner and try to stay close. We might even coach them and say, if you just talk to me like this, I'd feel loved. On the surface, it can look like anger, but underneath it is something really vulnerable. It's this fear. Please don't leave me. I'm scared I don't matter. That's not craziness. That's fear. Then there's avoidant attachment, which is more deactivation. And that core fear is failure, a sense of inadequacy, or loss of self. And so they have strategies to create distance, such as I don't want to fight, to shut down, to be silent, to minimize their needs, and sometimes even minimize their partners. They might say, you're overreacting. They might defend. It can look cold, but underneath it is something really vulnerable, which is if I get this wrong, I fail. And if I fail, I'm inadequate in love. Again, it's a type of protection. And finally, we have disorganized attachment, which is high fear and high mistrust of others. It's often shaped by trauma. You want the closeness, but that closeness feels dangerous. So you might reach and then you panic. It's really confusing on the surface, but it makes so much sense when you understand someone's experiences of needing someone, such as a parent, who also harms you. Essentially, what I'm wanting you to understand is that attachment is a survival system. When we feel ignored, criticized, overwhelmed, or afraid of losing connection, our nervous system moves into protection mode. Not because we're broken, but because at some point connection didn't feel safe. What I'm trying to say is your reactions make perfect sense. They once helped you survive emotionally in your relationships. And they're still trying to help. They're just outdated if you're in a safe relationship or in a relationship where both partners are willing to create a secure, functioning relationship together. Change doesn't happen because you try harder. It happens when you experience new moments of connection. such as I reached for you and you didn't leave. I showed you emotion and you didn't attack me. You were there for me when I needed you. These moments slowly replace protection with attachment trust. And that's how secure attachment is built. The old pattern, I had to protect myself. The new pattern, I can reach vulnerably and you'll be there. This is why I do emotionally focused couples therapy, because the research shows that when couples move out of blame and shutdown, and they move into vulnerability and responsiveness, these couples, they don't just communicate better, they feel safer. And when couples feel safer, the conflict softens, sex improves, parenting gets easier, and the stress reduces. Because security changes everything. So I want to come back to what I talked about at the beginning of this video. It's not just about your communication tone. It's your protective move. Because it doesn't matter how calm you sound if your nervous system is in fight mode. It doesn't matter how logical your argument is if your partner feels invisible. The actual fight is rarely the real problem. The protection is, especially when it's hidden from partners. So here's what I want you to hear. Your patterns make sense, they were adaptive, and they helped you survive. But now they may be costing you closeness. Because secure relationships aren't about doing everything right. They're about investing emotionally in what actually creates connection, which is learning the language of attachment. We want to invite care instead of threatening it, because secure attachment means you are in each other's care, and that is learnable. This is the foundation of my new series, Why You Do What You Do in Your Relationships. In the next few videos, I'll break down specific protection moves, such as criticism, or the defensiveness resume as I call it, or the appeasing move, and how to transform them. I would love for you to comment and put in what attachment strategy would you like me to outline. Go ahead and add it in the comment section below. I do read every comment. And the key thing I want you to take away today is your nervous system learned to survive in an insecure environment. It can also learn to feel safe in a secure one. And you can learn new moves that create closeness, not reinforce fear.